Okay, we get asked about this in terms of the equipment we're using in the studio for recording, the camera, the microphone, the lighting, and how do we stream to YouTube and how do we record our videos. So I'm going to cover off a lot of that right now. Now I'm going to take you through the studio. What you can see here is like a bit of a walkthrough of the studio, basically from behind to where I'm sitting. You can see the panels with the concrete film on it. You can see the setup of my monitor, the lighting, my MacBook Air computer, the microphone, my camera holder, which is actually my iPhone, believe it or not. And I'm going to show you how I connect that all up. And this is what it looks like when you have the lights on. This is probably what you're more used to seeing. So I've got a diffuser light above my head, got my laptop all over there. Then I've got these side lightings here. You got these lightings and you got a bit light down here as well. And I'm now just going to show you that this is roughly what you're probably used to seeing when the camera is kind of positioned over there where it is right now. And this is what you see on the screen. Now this adapter, this anchor adapter is really cool. It's got my Ethernet cable, the power cable for my MacBook Air, and a spare USB-C as well, the HDMI cable, and of course the USB that feeds into the microphone. And you can also see the cable that goes into the other USB-C port of my MacBook, and that goes into my iPhone so that I can get a direct feed from the iPhone to my MacBook. I'm using the Reincubate Camo app, which I downloaded onto my MacBook and onto my iPhone as well. By the way, it's not just available for the Mac, okay, or iPhones. You can actually get this working on your PC and your Android's phone as well. So this is really, really cool. The lifetime license for the Reincubate Camo is £70 or whatever you convert that to in terms of dollars or whatever your currency is. Now, you're probably wondering, what is the big deal about using this? Well, right now, my iPhone is connected to my MacBook. It is best to make sure the cable goes directly into your computer or your PC. Don't go into another adapter because it just won't work properly. It basically is it's a direct feed from your camera, your high-def camera or whatever you've got, okay? Because normally when you have like your camera, if you connect it to your computer like with QuickTime or anything else, you'll see the camera settings. I don't want to see the camera settings. I just want to get the full-on footage. And this app is brilliant. Lots of people think I'm using like a DSLR camera sometimes. And I go, nope, I'm just using my iPhone. I've used 4 other webcams, okay? I've used Logitech. I've used Elgato Facecam. I used I can't remember the names of them, Nexigo. And there was a 4th one I used as well. Every time I used a different one, I was like, yeah, there's an improvement. It's better. And if you watch the earlier videos when we started in June 2021, you'll see over time the camera quality changes. But I was never fully pleased or happy with what I was getting. And then I started reading up about how I could use my iPhone. Well, the iPhone means I'm not having to buy another webcam, number 1. Number 2, it's always with me. And number 3, I just connect it up and I'm getting high def quality. 1080p. At the moment, Reincubate does not support 4K footage, but I've spoken to them, they're working on it, and I hope they do that soon. Now, this may feel a bit weird because I'm now showing you the actual Reincubate Camo interface. So when you've connected your phone, obviously you got to open the app on your phone, Android or iPhone or whatever. You got to then open up the app on your computer as well, MacBook, Windows, whatever you got. And then here are the settings. So this is now feeding through from my camera. I'm using the normal mode. I could also change this to be loads of other. I'm not going to go through these, by the way. I'm just showing you my equipment. There's loads of different things you can show on here in terms of the way the camera looks. I can rotate my camera if I so want, which I'm not going to do. I can also zoom in if I want as well. Again, I'm not going to do that, but I'm just showing you how it works. We also have things over here where I can adjust like the exposure, the ISO, the brightness, the hue, the saturation, contrast, gamma, sharpness. Now, these are loads of stuff that you don't normally get with a lot of webcams. So with a webcam, you just get the footage. And then you're having to use some third-party software or something else to get it to connect. So you're slightly losing out, in my opinion, over how it looks. But I think this is really, really smart. Now, once you've got your settings exactly how you want, what I'm then using is, and you can probably guess what I'm now using, is OBS. Now, the minute I move on to OBS, hello, I'm back here now. The minute I move over to OBS, like what I'm doing now, you're basically getting like a mirror. I don't even know what the word is, like an infinity effect going on now. If I was to move this off the screen, you can now see that that is what you're going to see on the camera. But I have OBS open on another screen. But if I move OBS over here, just to show you what it looks like, you get the infinity effect. But you won't get that when you have two monitors or whatever attached to your machine. The great thing about OBS is that I am at the moment, if I show you here, I'm now showing you my screen. So I've moved OBS onto my screen. I'm just showing you the screen. When I click over here, I've now got my iPhone, but this is the circle. And if I go into properties, I am using my iPhone. I've got my presets set. And if I just go over here to filters on OBS, I'm using an image mask. So I'm using a circle image. It's a black circle. And by me pulling that through and doing the settings that I've done here, it creates the circle effect. So if I had done a triangle and put a triangle in, I would be now inside of a triangle or whatever shape you want to go for. If I activate this, that setting there, that is now, going to show my iPhone. You can't see it now because I've kind of like, in fact, let me just move this because you probably can't see what I was showing you. Over here, where it says iPhone above circle iPhone, if I do that, you now see me on the full screen. If I was to click any one of these other modules over here, like that, I can start to activate other stuff as well. I can do that. I can activate this screen. I can even, well, not that one. I can even do this back in 5 minutes, stuff like that. So there's quite a lot of fancy stuff you can do with OBS, and it's one of the reasons why I quite like using it. It's how I stream. Basically, once this is connected to my machine, I open up OBS. I don't have to do anything more other than, if I just move myself here, all I do is hit stop recording. Start recording and then stop. That is how I record my videos for YouTube. So I'll show myself maybe in full screen when I go to the small circle where I then start to share my screen, when I'm working on Elementor or anything else. When I am doing a live stream to YouTube, what I'll do is I'll open up YouTube. Say I'm going to start a live stream, and then all I do is click start streaming. I'm not recording now at this point. I stop recording. I start streaming, and the stream will automatically connect over to YouTube. Of course, to do that, you do have to go in and into your settings down here. And what you need to do is go to stream and then make sure you put in your YouTube key. I can't remember what it's called now. It gives you a key, a value. You've got to stick that value in so it knows to stream to your channel. Okay, so that is basically OBS in a nutshell. There isn't really a huge amount I can say more about OBS in a nutshell, really. That's how it works. So camera with a cable to my MacBook. Got the Camo app so I can adjust the way it looks and things like that. And then, obviously my lighting's on. Now the sound comes from my Fifine, I think you can see the logo. Can you see the logo there? Just make sure you can see that. It's Fifine, right? Fifine. It's a dynamic microphone. I used to use condenser microphones in my old videos, and you'll notice the sound is a little bit, it picks up external sounds as well. They're not the best microphones, condensers. The reason why my microphone is like near my mouth usually is because it's picking up my sound. If I do this, and I now start talking now, you can probably still hear me, but it won't be as powerful, and it's gonna be quite faint. And if I start counting to 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, can you hear the difference there? So the dynamic microphone, I think this was about £90, or was it 120? It might have been 120, I can't remember. It was off Amazon, but it's a dynamic microphone. So don't get a condenser microphone, get a dynamic microphone, okay? That is connected via, there's a cable here, it's a USB, and it goes into my adapter that I showed you earlier. That is the setup. Now, when it comes to recording videos, and I've just got an example one over here that I'm going to move over. Because I'm using a MacBook, I use iMovie. right? And all I do is just drop my videos in. You just drop your movies in, whatever you record. There is much fancier stuff out there. Final Cut Pro, there's loads of fancier packages that you can use, okay? I find iMovie works really well for me because I'm not doing anything overly fancy. So here's iMovie, okay? And I've just dropped in some fake footage and stuff like that. How I use this is really, really simple. And like I said, there is fancier stuff you could use. Every time I drop in any footage, I ensure all of them, the background noise is reduced to 100%. And I set the equalizer to be bass boost because I just find that helps the sound quality. I mean, look, the sound, I'm not going to do it for you now, but the sound, if you had it as normal, I might do it actually. So right now, this is what the sound is like when I have basically flat. This is the normal sound. This is flat. This is how flat sounds. And then this is how it sounds when I go back to bass boost. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's a bit of a difference in how it lifts the voice. And the same with the background noise as well. The reason I like using iMovie is because it's so quick and easy. I can I could stretch out the footage and I might say, okay, I'm going to take out a chunk of the video. So I might just go over here and say, split the clip. Let's take that out. And then I'm going to delete that chunk out. Or not. Let's just put it back in because I'm going to use this later on. But you can add videos. You can rearrange it. You can add bits that overlay it, like a photo on top of the video or a video on top of a video and stuff like that. It is really, really versatile. The point I want to get across is iMovie is free, right? With the MacBook, it's free. The microphone, £120. My iPhone, well, I don't have to pay for a webcam. It's my iPhone. It cost me £70 for a lifetime re-incubate Camo deal. Lifetime, so I only pay it once. That's cheaper than some high-def webcams out there with a cable. When they do eventually enable 4K, well, I won't have to pay anything extra. I've got the lifetime deal, right? My diffuser light, that was about £50 from Amazon. The two lights that I have over here, these two white lights, let me just show you again. Let's just get onto that. There we go. They were a total of, I think, £30. That was for the two cables. Both of these cables are 5 meters in length. So they go to the ceiling, they're hooked on the ceiling, and they go back down to the power over there. And the bulbs altogether about £30-ish. This was 20. There's two of these. I've got one over there as well that I haven't shown you. And this one here, that's 20, I think that's 20, £22. I've got a light down here as well. I've got two of those. That was about £25. So yes, there is some outlay in terms of equipment. But if I didn't need the lighting, let's pretend I didn't need the lighting. Okay. And I wasn't too bothered about the microphone, and I was just going to use whatever microphone came with my MacBook, which isn't too bad, I have to say. I mean, it could be better. It's not overly bad. But if I only use that on my iPhone, then I'm only paying for the Reincubate Camo app, aren't I? £70 license. So the idea is that I edit the videos, stitch them together, I might add music or whatever, and then I upload them to YouTube. I mean, I haven't gone into nth degree detail here with everything I've got and how I do it, but that is the basic gist of my equipment that I have and how I like to record. Hey, I'm Imran Web Squadron. I hope you like, subscribe, share and follow, and have a go creating your own videos.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat.